Once all the planks are off for the dock, you can start to dismantle the frames. The way that you do that is pretty straightforward. It's these big screws that don't actually screw into anything. They're used basically as just a pressure point to strap the one frame to the next. So it's really just about tightening it, but not trying to drive it through the hole. It's just to loosen it, and then you can take it out. These screws use a 3/4 wrench. The first two dock pieces, the ones that are closest to the hoof, are connected a little bit differently. They have a very specific kind of screw and nut and bolt mechanism that locks them into place and kind of is the foundation for the rest of the docks. We'll look at that in a little bit, but the side that you're going to unscrew is the side that is facing the water. So you should never be taking apart the side that's facing the hoof. This method is a little tricky. You want to unscrew the nuts off of the frame piece using a 9x16 wrench, but sometimes the nut and bolt can spin on the inside, so you might have to reach in onto the inner side of the hinge, hold that bolt in place with another wrench in order to actually unscrew. Otherwise you might just be spinning for a while like Dan does. This is what that piece looks like once it's out of the dock. Once you've unhooked all of the frame pieces, you can start to take them out of the water. It usually can take 2 to 3 people to get them out. The one side of the dock are much longer pieces than the other side, but there's not very much of a difference in weight. Once you get them out, you can take them onto the hoof, flip them over so that the legs are facing up. You don't want to lean, basically stack them up according to which dock they are, so that you know which is which for the next summer. Along with the pieces that hold the planks in place, there's also these plastic black squares that go into every corner or so of each piece, and you want to make sure that you take those out and store them properly, because they can also get damaged in the year away from motion. Once you got all of one side of the docks out, it's probably a good idea to take a break, maybe finish off the water trampoline, so once it's all completely clean it can start to dry, because that can take a while, especially it's not a sunny day like it was on this day in particular. So maybe everyone will head over to the water trampoline, finish it off. Once it's nice and clean, take it into the lake and just kind of rinse it off one final time of all the soap, because you don't want the soap to dry onto the trampoline. And then you can bring it back out of the lake and leave in the grass to dry thoroughly before deflating it. Alright, the water trampoline is set to dry, and it's time to get rid of the rest of the frames that are still in the water. In the meantime, as well, there's Matan was taking out the raft, which is also anchored similarly to the water trampoline, and then he took off the rubber straps that keep the barrels that keep the raft afloat in place, so that once everyone is ready, we can just lift the raft, take out the barrels, and bring the raft up to the basketball court. The frontmost pieces, the pieces closest to the hoof, are the most important, because you want to understand really well where they are situated in the lake, so that when the bridge is put in, it actually connects the dock to the hoof, because if you just put the dock wherever you want, it's not gonna reach. So there are some pictures that I kind of took to show where that frame is sort of situated. I know it's hard, and the water level changes every summer, and it's very hard to predict exactly where it should be. What I would suggest for future constructions is maybe to bring the bridge down to the hoof, and put in that first frame and just see, even without putting on the rest of the frames and the planks, you don't necessarily have to worry about that, but just kind of put in the bridge and see where that lines up with the dock, and then you can maybe adjust that first piece, if you need to. That would be really the only way that I can think of how to get it to line up perfectly without, especially like the last thing you want to have to do is move the entire dock just because the bridge is being stupid. So whatever, good luck with that shit.